Hello everybody and welcome to another mystery box function challenge. In the purple mystery box there is some math and your challenge is to figure out what it is. You can use the link in the description to try this out on your own, and when you've got an idea, come on back and see if we get the same thing. All right, I'm going to begin with a 0. Okay, so 0 gives us -2. How about a 1? Oh, and 1, that looks like a non-repeating decimal. How about a 2? Another non-repeating decimal. How about a 3? And now we're going back up. Let's just put in, I'm starting to think trig because of these non-repeating decimals, so, and the shape of the curve. Let's put in an approximation for pi. So we started out at 0 at -2, and now we're back to -2 at pi, so that makes a lot of good sense to me. Let's just do a few more values in here. And I'm going to put in an approximation for 2 pi. And it looks like we're back down to 2 there. So let's just check on the negative side too, make sure this is the curve continues in the same way. Okay, so I think we have the information we need to figure this out. This looks like a sine or a cosine. Which one is it? So I am thinking sine because to me it looks like the middle of this function, let's use a different, is right here. So it looks like at 0, it starts at its 0 point and it goes down 1 and then it goes up 1 and down again. So I think this is sine. Sine starts at 0. It looks like the whole thing has just been moved down 2. So maybe we've got a sine of x and then a -2 just to move it down 2, because our starting point, instead of being 0, sine of 0 is 0, is at -2. That's not quite the whole thing though, because there's something funny going on. Let's look at our unit circle again. So the sine is going to be our y coordinate as this angle moves along the circle. So let's think about what happens to the sine. When you start at 0, the coordinate here is 1, 0. So our sine is 0. And by the time you get to pi over 2, our sine is 1. So it goes up, it increases. We're doing the opposite, we're going down. But it looks like we get to the lowest value at around pi over 2, and then we start going back up, and we get back to 0 by the time we get to pi. So here we have the point -1, 0, so our sine is 0 again. So it's going in the wrong direction. I think what has happened is it's just been flipped upside down. So if we put a negative sign in front of it, that's going to do it. So for example, at pi over 2, the sine of pi over 2 is going to be 1, and then we put a negative sign, we'd have a -1 and then a -2. That's why it brings us all the way down here to this -3 value at pi over 2. So I think that's got it. Let's go ahead and take a look. And there it is, the negative sine of x, -2, and we can graph that as well. And there's that classic sine wave. It's just flipped upside down. It's going down first and then up from that 0 point. And it's been moved a couple down from the origin. Well, how did that go for you? Were you thinking trig? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.